I used to feel everything. Every insult, every rejection, every disappointment. Like my skin was made of glass. And the world kept throwing rocks. Then I learned something that changed everything. Not from therapy, not from medication, not from positive affirmations, from a philosophy that's 2,000 years old. And I know what you're thinking. Detachment sounds cold. Sounds like not caring. Sounds like giving up. Wrong. Emotional detachment isn't about feeling less. It's about suffering less from what you feel. Before, I was drowning in my emotions. After, I learned to swim. And in the next 12 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how I did it. Because if you're someone who feels too much, who takes everything personally, who can't let things go, this might be the most important thing you ever learn. Let me tell you what my life looked like before. I couldn't handle criticism. Someone would make one comment about my work. I'd replay it for weeks. Dissect every word. Wonder what they really meant. Convince myself I was worthless. Someone didn't text back? Panic. Did I say something wrong? Are they mad at me? Do they hate me now? Hours spent analyzing a delayed response. My mood was completely controlled by external events. Good day at work? Happy. Bad interaction? Destroyed. Someone's approval? Flying. Someone's disapproval? Shattered. I was a puppet, and everyone else was holding the strings. But here's what I didn't understand then. The problem wasn't that bad things were happening. Bad things happened to everyone. The problem was that I had no space between the event and my reaction. Something happened. I reacted. Immediately. Completely. Uncontrollably. Like a reflex. Psychologists call this emotional fusion, where you and your emotions are the same thing. You're not experiencing anger. You are anger. You're not feeling sadness. You are sadness. And when you are your emotions, you're at their mercy. Every feeling becomes a tsunami. Every thought becomes truth. Every reaction becomes automatic. I lived like this for years. Anxious, reactive, exhausted, until I discovered something the Stoics figured out 2,000 years ago. The Stoics had a saying, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Marcus Aurelius wrote that, but I didn't get it at first. Because it sounds like spiritual BS, right? Just control your mind. Cool. How? Here's what they actually meant. Between every event and your reaction, there's a space. Most people don't know that space exists, but it does. And in that space, that's where freedom lives. Let me give you a real example. Someone insults you. That's the event. You can't control that. Your first impulse is rage. That's automatic. You can't control that either. But here's what you can control. What you do next. Do you react to the impulse? Or do you observe it? Most people react. They feel anger and become anger. They feel hurt and become hurt. Stoics do something different. They feel the anger and they watch it. Oh, there's anger. Not, I am angry. There's anger. In my body. Right now. You shift from participant to observer. And that changes everything. Because when you're observing, you're not drowning. The Stoics called this objective representation. Looking at things as they actually are, not as your emotions paint them. Here's how I started practicing it. Someone cut me off in traffic. Old me. That asshole. Who does he think he is? He could have killed me. 20 minutes of anger. Ruined mood. Elevated blood pressure. New me. That person changed lanes without signaling. That's it. Just the fact. No story. No drama. No emotional charge. And here's what's wild. The situation is exactly the same. But my suffering dropped to zero. Because I wasn't adding narrative. I wasn't making it mean something about me. I wasn't writing a story where I'm the victim. I was just observing reality. And reality, without your interpretation, is rarely as bad as you think. So how do you actually build this skill? Because it's not automatic. You have to train it. Like a muscle. Here's what I did. Every morning, I started with one Stoic practice. Negative visualization. Sounds depressing. It's not. I'd sit for 5 minutes and imagine losing everything. My health, my relationships, my possessions, my abilities. Why would I do something so dark? Because it creates detachment. When you regularly imagine loss, you stop gripping so tightly to what you have. Seneca used to say, "He who has anticipated the coming of troubles takes away their power when they arrive." I started applying this to daily life. Before a difficult conversation, what's the worst that could happen? They get mad. They reject me. They disagree. Okay, and if that happens, I'll handle it. Just imagining the worst outcome removed 90% of the anxiety. Because I wasn't avoiding reality anymore. I was looking at it directly. Another practice, the view from above. Marcus Aurelius did this constantly. When something felt overwhelming, he'd zoom out. Your city, your country, your planet, the solar system, the galaxy. And from that perspective, your problem is invisible, not because it doesn't matter, but because it's one tiny moment in an incomprehensible universe. This sounds like minimizing your problems. It's not. It's putting them in context, so they don't consume your entire reality. I used to think my embarrassing moment at work was the end of the world. Then I'd do the view from above. In 100 years, everyone who witnessed it will be dead. In 1,000 years, the building won't exist. In 1,000,000 years, humans might not exist. Does that make my feelings invalid? No. It makes my suffering optional. Here's where people get confused about detachment. They think it means not caring. It doesn't. Detachment means caring without being controlled. Let me show you the difference. Attachment says, I love you, so I need you to be exactly what I want. Detachment says, I love you, and I accept you as you are. Attachment says, if this doesn't work out, I'll be destroyed. Detachment says, I hope this works out, and I'll be okay either way. See the difference? One is desperate, one is peaceful. And here's the paradox. The less tightly you grip, the less you lose. Because when you hold something with an open hand, it can leave without breaking you. My relationships actually got better when I practiced detachment. Before, I was clingy, needed constant reassurance, took everything personally, couldn't handle any conflict. My neediness was suffocating. After detachment, I could love people without needing them to complete me. I could appreciate them without fearing their loss. I could connect without losing myself. And ironically, people wanted to be closer to me because I wasn't demanding anything from them. The Stoics understood this. Epictetus said, don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do happen. That sounds like resignation. It's not. It's radical acceptance, which is different from passive acceptance. Radical acceptance says, I'll do everything I can and accept whatever comes. Passive acceptance says, why bother trying? One is empowered. One is defeated. Detachment is always empowered. Let me tell you what happened after 6 months of practice. The criticism that used to destroy me, I could hear it clearly. Is this true? Let me think about it. If true, learn from it. If false, discard it. No emotional spiral. No days of rumination. No identity crisis. The rejection that used to feel like death became information. This didn't work out. Okay, next. Not because I stopped caring, but because I stopped making everything mean I'm worthless. The anxiety that used to control me? Still there, but I'm not afraid of it anymore. Oh, there's anxiety. Like watching clouds pass. It comes. I notice it. It goes. I don't fight it. I don't feed it. I just observe. And here's what nobody tells you about emotional detachment. You don't feel less. You feel more. Because you're not defending against feeling. You're not building walls. You're not numbing out. You're just not drowning in every wave. So you can actually experience life, the good and the bad, without being destroyed by either. I cry more now than I did before. But the tears don't last for days. I feel anger more clearly, but it doesn't consume me. I experience joy more fully, because I'm not afraid it's going to end. This is what the Stoics meant by freedom. Not freedom from emotions. Freedom in emotions. You don't need to be a philosopher. You don't need to read ancient texts. You just need to practice one thing. Creating space between what happens and how you respond. Here's how. Next time something upsets you, pause. Just 3 seconds. Breathe. And ask one question. Is this thought true? Not does it feel true. Is it objectively, factually true? Usually, no. They hate me. Maybe they're just busy. I'm a failure. I failed at one thing. Nothing ever works out. Some things haven't worked out yet. That pause, that question, that's where detachment begins. Second practice, daily negative visualization. 5 minutes. Imagine losing one thing you take for granted. Your phone, your sight, your mobility, your freedom. Then go about your day. Watch how much more grateful you become, how much less you complain, how much lighter you feel. Third practice, the view from above. When you're overwhelmed, zoom out. Your room, your city, your planet, the cosmos. Your problem is still real, but it's not everything. And that perspective, it sets you free. Emotional detachment didn't make me cold. It made me unbreakable. I still care deeply, but I'm not controlled by caring. I still feel everything, but I'm not destroyed by feeling. I still want things to work out, but I'm okay if they don't. The Stoics were right. You have power over your mind, not outside events. And that power, it's been there the whole time. You just have to practice finding it. Start today. 3-second pause. One question. That's all you need. The rest will follow.